Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. This is going to be a group energy healing where I heal 120 people in 9 different countries. And it's the second in a set of 3 with the same theme, which is engage more with your physical body and with nature. So you can watch and give yourself the healing because, except for the first 2 minutes, I will be talking out loud and walking you through what I do. So you could use it as a walkthrough. I'm waiting to get some confirmation that people can see and hear me okay. Part of the problem is I didn't make the event until just now. Sorry about that. I try to make the event a day in advance, but sometimes I'm just thinking about looking at the surveys and thinking about my next healing, so I forget to actually make the YouTube event. So I just made it. So I am hoping to get some confirmations. But I suppose what I could do is just see if I can watch myself on my phone. And that way I don't have to delay too much and I can just start. Let's see. But if you can see this, please let me know that you can see and hear this. Oh, thank goodness. Good, so I don't have to deal with my phone. Thank you. That helps so much. Thank you, thank you. There's a bit of a time lag, I guess, so it's part of the weirdness of all that. Thank you for my hellos. You guys are so sweet with your little flowers and hellos and stuff. I appreciate it. All right, well, good. That's a relief. All right. So, this theme, engage more with your physical body and with nature. It's fun just because, well, for one, it's fun because winter's ending and spring is beginning soon-ish. So, it's a nice way to be more open to that and aware of it and make the most of it to kind of jumpstart your body into that seasonal shift before it happens or just as it's like just starting. So it gives you maybe like a little bit of an early spring feeling in the set, which I like a lot. May have to do this every year. But also the surveys were very positive. I mean, they're all different, of course, and I appreciate knowing all the different little things that are going on with people and how you feel after the healing. But taken, big picture overall, they were very positive. So I'm thinking that, I mean, essentially, in order to be open to nature, you have to be open to yourself, which somebody mentioned on their survey. They were very philosophical about it. But yeah, I think there's something to that. I mean, if people are all about the city, are they necessarily avoiding themselves? No. But I think the opposite might be true, that if people really like nature, they might be more embracing their inner selves because nature has a very centering effect on you just by being around it. Just, you don't have to do anything. The trees just like, they have so much ambient earth energy and stuff, you just kind of chill out and ground more. So so I think in a way maybe trees keep you honest. If I had to develop a little catchphrase. um so it could be, I mean, people avoid themselves through all sorts of different ways. They invent, subconsciously, they invent lots of dramas in their lives so that they don't have time to look inward sometimes. And But one way of avoiding yourself could be living in a big city, because there's all sorts of stuff you could be interested in and focus on, other than just turning inward. Of course, there is. I think too, another side to that city stuff. You can have you can be aware of the positive aspects of humanity and kind of be inspired by that. So you could be inspired by the sort of energy of working hard, or the energy of, you know, I don't know, helping out. Maybe there's a sort of an aspect to some people in your city where they help each other out, and all that. So you can resonate with the positive aspects of the group, in the city. Um, I think some people are more prone to resonating with the positive aspects of humanity, whereas other people are more likely to feel the negative aspects of humanity. And I think I'm probably in that group where, I feel the pain, I feel the addiction energy, I feel the arguing, I feel, all sorts of stuff. I mean, I was happy living in the city for a long time, but I had to actively sort of not resist and not match all that, the negative parts of human imbalance, and so I worked at it, and I let that suffer me down, but I was very aware of it. And so being in a less populated area now, that's actually quite a relief for me, because I'm not only around more big trees, many more big trees, but I'm around less people. The population density is so much less, so that force of that energy of human imbalances is much quieter. So I don't really have to work at not matching. I mean, I still do that. We could do that today. That would be a good it would kind of match with what I'm talking about. The unmatched global pain, UGP, UGP, unmatched global pain. So anyway, the trees keep you honest. But so that said, in order to enjoy more nature and to be able to find more time to enjoy nature, I think it would be good if we did more of, we did a little bit 2 days ago, which I think is part of why people felt such positive results. We cleared what you're avoiding. We did it as like boxes of stuff, boxes or crates or chests of what you're avoiding. And which I think, at least for me, that's a nice image, because when people pack it away, they do kind of, cover it up and close it in, and, it's like, okay, now I can't feel it. So we imagined all that kind of stuff and blew it up and melted it and whatever, So I think we're going to do more of that, because if you do want more of nature in your life, you don't want to kind of subconsciously be getting in your way. And two, you want it, you just want it to be a nice, easier, more pleasant transition. So since being in nature is more centering, when you're more centered, you can sometimes feel things that you've been avoiding. And so if we clear them proactively, then you're just more likely to have, more of a pleasant experience with it. So more of clearing what you're avoiding. And then I was noticing, as I was going through the surveys, I was just kind of reading people's energy as I was reading what they wrote about their conscious experience. And I noticed like the seventh chakra in the top of the head, it sets the tone. It's sort of, if I guess one chakra was the boss of all the others, it would be the seventh is the boss of the other chakras. You come into that one first when you wake up in the morning, you come into the top of your head. So that kind of sets the tone, and then you come in. So your astral seventh, but also your physical seventh kind of set the tone for you. And I was noticing that sometimes when people are more scattered or more, like one woman had this sort of esoteric, I mean, her surveys, you know, I love you, but your surveys are always very kind of poetic. And you said that you're halfway between living and dying and all this, but I don't think that you're actually suicidal. I just think it was just, that's how you talk. You're very poetic. And, but I was thinking that, you know, that disconnect, if people actually feel disconnected or they just are scattered and maybe they're not aware of it, it just stresses them out. Part of that could be that they don't like their life. I mean, they, you know, not like terribly don't like their life, but it's like that the life that they want and the life that they have seem very different to them. And I think that sometimes people can be very motivated by that. But I think if your seventh chakra settings are not right, like if you have too much junk in your seventh chakra, the top of your head, then you might feel disempowered by that, that your current life doesn't match what you would like. I think if your seventh chakras are unencumbered enough, you can just be inspired that, you know, oh, well, I'm going to be changing my life. I am changing my life, you know, and you kind of, I think we can work on that today. We can heal and unburden your seventh chakras enough to the point where you feel like this is, at least your seventh is like on track for what you would like in life, the kind of life you would want. And so then that will just gradually start to trickle down and set the tone throughout and help you to manifest. So I think if we just, you know, kind of that idea of having dreams or having goals and the life you want for your seventh chakra. So we'll kind of unburden and heal the seventh chakra more so that it's more, you get more of a sense of like, okay, but I'm on track. You know, I'm on track. I am building the kind of life I would like to live. Because that's, you know, that's important. That makes you feel, I mean, you can either feel like, okay, yeah, I literally have the life I want. I think that's when you have more and more of your chakras set the way that you want. But at least if you have your seventh, I think it's an important shift. So I know that sounds a little woo-woo, but it's easy. It's easy to do. It'd just be healing and unblocking the seventh. Okay. There will be other things that we do, you know, to help with the theme of engaging more with your physical body and engaging more with nature, but some of that'll just be spontaneous, so I can't really preview it right now because I don't know consciously exactly what we're gonna do. it'll just come to me as I'm reading sample people and stuff. So there's that. So I'm going to catch up with comments and then I will be quiet and then we'll do the healing. So I get my hellos. Thank you so much. Hi, Janet. Hello to you. Someone says, was inspired to re-listen to the last Inspire session. Oh, your individual session and heal shoulder and back energy, channel chakras. My body is loving this theme. I made a commitment to exercise 2 weeks ago and this theme helps. Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed, because I did the Friday walkthrough myself yesterday, and that thing about being more open to angel help, that was nice. And I think also one of my favorite ones was body acceptance and motivation. I think we should redo that. And back then we did blanket exercise and we did flower exercise, you know, energy healing flowers for it, to help you accept your body, which diffuses like emotional baggage about it, and body related motivation. So like if you did want to, you know, eat healthier or exercise or whatever, could help you be motivated to do it. Okay, cool. So now I will be quiet so we can enjoy some silence for about 2 minutes or so. And during that time, I'll start the healing, and you'll see me go like this. So that's how you know I'm doing the healing. But then I'll talk out loud and walk you through what I'm doing. And the rest is all I'll walk through. You could heal yourself if you want as you listen. All right, thanks for waiting. So when you heal yourself, you can make the copy out in front of you of what you're healing. Did you create it with your intention? Hold on one sec. And so you could just imagine all your auras out in front of you. There are 17 auras actually. Your astral body aura, your physical body aura, and then 15 Wei Qi auras. So you can just imagine those pretty much all in the same place. And then your physical body and your astral body are inside there, and then both your physical body and your astral body grounding connect you to the core of the earth. So you just imagine all that out in front of you. And use your hands. Your hands generate energy because there are chakras. There's a big hand chakra, and then there are fingertip chakras. They generate energy that flows out of your hands. So it's nice to use when you're healing yourself. Set them with your intention so that the chakras themselves are physically, you just set the chakras to be a gold color, like this glitter if you need a sample. And that way the energy that they generate will be that color. That's how chakras work. If you set them to a certain color, that's the energy color they generate. And so then you wash your space by using a copy of your space and flow the gold light through it. The benefit of using this, I mean, there's a lot of benefits of using a copy. Part of it is you become good at feeling energy with your hands. So it's a whole extra level of information you receive. So like one day, if your clairvoyance isn't that great, but you're already pretty good at feeling energy with your hands, then you can feel like some rips or some leaks or some blockages just by combing through with your hands. So it's good to have a bunch of different skills. So then one day, you know, 2 of them aren't great, but the other 2 are fine, and you know, you just keep using all of them. All right, so grounding. Let's do that first, just because it'll help everything else. So with grounding, just recreate it, make it red or orange or yellow, nice and wide as say the palm of the heel, the heel of the palm of your hand, if you were to stretch your arms out. And bring your grounding up high as your 3rd chakra, which is where your sternum bone ends. Right there, that's your 3rd. And then you can just make a copy of that out in front of you, a copy of your grounding. And comb through it with gold light. You want the energy to flow down really fast, like a very strong waterfall. So just use the gold light to unblock your grounding. And make sure your grounding is very wide all the way down. It can get blocked and that narrows it, but you don't want that. So melt away the block so that it stays nice and wide. And we did a lot of unblocking 2 days ago of the grounding, so we'll just do something kind of quick. Just pile up all the junk in your grounding that you were going to leave there, but you really shouldn't. And just melt all the junk in your grounding with gold light. It's like that's kind of what energy healing is. That's kind of how you push yourself to keep growing and progressing, is you kind of catch your own, excuse my French, but I'm an adult, so all the kids watching, you're not allowed to talk like this, but you kind of catch yourself on your own bullshit. You know, like, all right, I was going to avoid this in my grounding, now I won't, you know, and it just melted away. So what are you avoiding in your grounding? What have you hidden away somewhere in some corner of your grounding? And then just surround it with a lot of gold fire so it melts. And if it's not moving, just say, angels, help me clear all this. Okay, what else were you avoiding in your grounding? Come on. Come on. And there's lots of gold light. Surround it, melt it. You could blow it up if you're healing yourself. That's part of how you can make your own healing of yourself just as effective as someone else who's healing you. Because if someone else is healing you, they don't really care what you've been avoiding. So they're like, oh, look at all this blockage. Clear, clear, clear. Help, gold light, gold light, gold light. And so then you clear all the stuff that you would have totally pretended wasn't even there. So you as a self-healer, again, just catch yourself at that. You know, be like, oh, let me find what I wouldn't have found because I would have been avoiding. And then just imagine it and use gold light and clear it. Whew. Oh, yeah. I remembered something else I want to do. But I won't say it because I want to make sure I have time for it. All right, so that's grounding. Grounding and blocking. So then indie grounding. is you check the outer perimeter, outer surface, as the grounding goes all the way down, and you melt away any connections to other people at the edges of your grounding. Just melt them all away so that your grounding is truly separate. And again, this is where you kind of, call yourself on your own imbalances. You find the places where you are connecting to other people, or you're allowing that to happen, that consciously you think you're not, but just go ahead, hunt and find it. Find, those 3 people that have been hanging out there all day, and just melt away the connections between their grounding and yours. And also, I think to be a really successful self-healer, and even really pro-healer, I think of other people too, because your energy then would be so much more dynamic and playful. Like, don't take it all so seriously, okay, fine. So you've been letting, 3 people mooch off your grounding for like an entire week, okay, oops, just melt it away. Don't be like, oh my God, those people are evil. I'm never talking to them again. Oh my God, I'm such an idiot. Just cut it out. Just try to, because when you can see things and be aware of things and have intuition and feel and hear your angels, I mean, you're going to be aware of so much. You just have to accept that you have imbalances. Everyone has imbalances. You have weaknesses. Everybody does. So anyway, we're doing indie grounding while I'm making these giant speeches. Okay, good enough. So that was indie grounding, melting away your connections between your grounding and other people's grounding, which only drags everybody down. Ooh. Okay, let's do aura repair. Right, because we did grounding, let's do aura repair. So I want to do all 17 at once. So let's just do the evaluation phase where you can be repairing already, but also just kind of notice, just notice like, okay, the 2 regular auras, are they ripped up at all? The 15 Wei Qi auras, where are the rips in those? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So obviously if you find some already, you can just start, you don't have to use a composite copy. If you just see that there's, like, say in the top of your aura, there are 3 Wei Qi auras that are just totally ripped up there, you can heal those 3 at once, right there at the top. But let's do composite copy to finish up repair a little faster, probably more thoroughly. And that also helps if you can't see energy, then the composite copy doesn't require you to catch every little last rip. You just imagine one rip that represents all the rips that are healthy and gentle for you to repair in your 15 Wei Qi auras and your 2 regular auras. So you imagine one composite copy rip, and then you repair that one rip, and that repairs all the rips. So you want to get gold light as deep as possible in there, but there could be a lot of junk in there in the way. So just use sticky gold wax and have it stick to anything that's not you inside this rip. And then you get rid of the wax and the junk all at once. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Again, more sticky gold wax to clean out the rip. Fill it up with the sticky gold wax, and the wax sticks to anything that's not you. So you lift that out, the wax and the junk. Angels, here you go. So now you should get really good contact with the ripped parts, and you can fully repair this composite copy rip. Oh, wow. Okay, and then aura scarring can be left over, hard bumpy stuff around the edges, and we don't want that. Makes the aura more weak to have the hard scarring. So just imagine all your aura scarring in one place, and just use cold light, which melts the scarring and finishes up the healing. So we're melting away aura scarring in all your 17 auras. Oh, wow. Okay, so that was aura scarring, melting aura scarring. So then we'll melt away aura bruising, which is in any, tends to be just in the regular auras. I think your Wei Chi auras, if they get damaged, they'll just get smashed. They'll just get ripped right open. But I mean, not necessarily all the way open, but they'll get rips. I don't think Wei Chi auras tend to get bruised. But anyway, so you can get bruising in those two regular auras that have all the layers to them, 7 layers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that wrap all around you. So bruising is just little plates of hard energy within a couple layers at once in a certain spot, just because you've had energy thrown at you, and it just kind of it can. I mean, if you had perfect flow, you wouldn't get bruising even. But maybe you had an energy block somewhere, and so that sort of caught the 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 force of what was thrown at you, and then it kind of bounced around and made bruising. So anyway, put all your bruising in one spot. Like, make copies of all your bruising in your auras, and melt away your aura bruising with gold light. So we're melting away aura bruising from all the 17 auras. Okay, so that was melting away aura bruising, so that you have better flow. Let's just take a gold wax for your everything. So imagine the whole thing, your 17 auras, your physical body, your astral body, both your astral and physical grounding. And just cover it all in sticky gold wax so that it sticks to everything that's not you, especially around the outer surface, in case you have a hard object stuck there that someone threw. So sticky gold wax around the outer surfaces of your grounding and your auras. And then inside everywhere, including like weird spots where you have weird pains, like in the lower back or in the base of your skull or whatever, just get the sticky gold wax in there too. If you have head pain, headaches, get all the parts of your head with the sticky gold wax, and the front of your eyeballs and stuff, around your eyebrows with the sticky gold wax. And we're gonna have the wax stick to the energy blocks. Oh. Anything that's not you, that you want to get rid of. Energy blocks, cords, other people's energy, invasive beings. So have the wax stick to all that junk, and then remove the wax and the junk and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. All right, more sticky gold wax on the outer surface of everything, and then inside everything. And then you're gonna move the wax and the junk to the side and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And you might want to just stretch or do something because that's kind of a big body shift, a big body and spirit shift to remove that much with the CDL back. So just move around a little. And then you can just use gold light and finish up the repair of those outer surfaces, just because maybe you remove some hard objects, which leaves a gash. So a little extra repair around the outer surfaces of all 17 auras. So everything repairs up, there's no leaking, and you get a nice energy seal, which is sort of like a bouncy surface tension, which adds a little strength, a little extra strength. All right, so that was sort of aura repair plus related things to the aura, to the auras. All right, so good karma windows. No, well, yeah, I'm getting to that, but before that, another acronym, Gold Energy Aura Buffer Zones, GEABZ is what I write in my notes for that, Gold Energy Aura Buffer Zones. Just recreate those. And then just make sure you have enough gold light in them. There's a reference video if you don't know what those are, gold buffer zones. It's an 18-minute reference video. I'll link it below later. If you don't know what they are and you don't want to watch the video right now, just say, angels, can you make my gold buffer zones? All right, so good karma windows are back here behind the base of the skull, all the way in all the aura layers of your I want to say they're only in the physical body aura, but I don't think I would swear to that at the moment. But that feels right, because they really help with being more safe and more present. So anyway, there's one in each of the aura layers, and it's like a triple frame that is the color of that aura layer. So like if you set your first chakra to red, then your first layer is generating energy, filling up your first layer with red, courage, and abundance energy, and safety energy, which is good. And then the good karma window back here in the first layer has a red triple frame and like a red translucent little window pane to it. And you don't want that to be smashed and broken. If it's not smashed and broken, if it's nice and healed, it just lets in a little comforting, uplifting amount of cosmic energy from the cosmos and the stars and the moon and all that. But otherwise keeps you really safe and makes it harder for anything to have access back here. So that's good. So anyway, you have, all those windows back here, red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, deep blue, purple. So we're just gonna repair these windows and get rid of any hard objects that might have been thrown into them to do damage. And we'll unblock the area too, because you can get like energy blocks just kind of cluttering up the area, and maybe some invasive beings cluttering up the area if there's a lot of damage. So we don't want that. We'll just clean it up and repair it, and it'll be great. So you just imagine, your 7 layers back there behind the base of your skull, and the windows, and just use a lot of gold light, and just start the initial repair with the gold light. So this is repairing the good karma windows behind the base of the skull in all the layers of the physical body aura. So let's use sticky gold wax to get rid of all the hard objects and junk, anything that's not you around these windows, and just lift the wax up with the junk and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And do some more repair. And let's do more sticky gold wax. And also do sticky gold wax in the base of the skull, the whole back of the head, and the sides of the head. You have a lot of energy meridians in traditional Chinese medicine and a lot of little acupuncture points, which are little chakras. There at the surface of your body. So sticky gold wax the side and the back of your head, the sides and the back and the top of your head, the base of your skull. Sticky gold wax that whole thing. And sticky gold wax all the aura layers behind it, where your good karma windows are, sticky gold wax, all that. And you're gonna have the wax lift out anything that's not you that is healthy and gentle to get rid of right now. So just lift it out all at once with the wax. Angels, here you go. You can also make a nice extra red grounding for all these energy centers at the base of your skull and around your head. Just give them all like a nice red grounding so they can dump out any extra energy that they need to. You can make that grounding out of red earth energy. All right, so then let's finish up the repair of those energy centers and meridians in your head, just with your intention. In your head, the back of your neck, the base of your skull. Just repair all those. So it'll be like you're repairing tubes, right? The energy channels are like tubes with rivers in them. So you repair those, and then you repair the windows in the aura layers behind there. Oh, whew. Okay, great. So that was good karma window work with a little bit of head work. Good karma windows and the head. Head, neck, I guess. Let's see. What next? Let's do STEBs. Stubborn triggered energy blocks. So just make a pile out in front of you of all the stubborn triggered energy blocks that are triggered, that are just annoying you on some level. They're making you jumpy or distracted or unmotivated or whatever, right? So stubborn triggered energy blocks, you don't have to know what they're about, and just bring up red earth energy, soak them all, and melt the cords going into them, because that's why they're stubborn and they don't clear automatically, even though your auras are fabulous now. So melt away those cords going into these energy blocks. And then if you're healing yourself, you could blow up the energy blocks or melt them with gold light. Let's do another batch of those. Just make a big pile out in front of you of all your STEBs, your stubborn triggered energy blocks, and melt them away. You can make a big red grounding, soak them in the red earth energy, melt away the cords going into them, and then melt the actual energy blocks. If you have any left over, you say, angels, help me clear these. So that was STEBs. We're going to do a relatively quick version of chakra repair, which we did do 2 days ago as well. It's just that it's chakra repair and unblocking, and so that's really good to do. And also with the minor chakras, like say chakras in your shoulders or chakras in your leg channels, it's easy to get damage in those. Like I find if I have somebody throwing energy at me, maybe they're aiming for like my first chakra, but maybe they don't cause any damage to my first chakra, but they manage to blow out like my leg chakras and they're all cracked and busted, you know? Or maybe someone's aiming for my heart chakra and that's just a little too strong to get damaged at the time, but they blow out all my shoulder chakras. And so those are all like cracked and busted up. And it just causes you to be, a little less present in those places, which is totally not as fun. I think that could be part of why people had, extra nice results from the healing 2 days ago, because I made sure to do those extra chakras in like the shoulders and the legs and stuff. So anyway, um, it's not quick if I keep talking, is it? Oh well. Okay, so just imagine a composite copy of all your major and minor chakras. So the chakra looks like a cylinder with round opening and round opening, right? Hold on, I need to blow my nose. Sorry about that. It's funny, I think, people might turn away for like germs, but you guys aren't here, so that was not necessary, but sort of social training, turn away. All right, fine. So, doing chakra repair finally. Just imagine a cylinder, open cylinder, that represents all your chakras. So the big seven along your spine, that's those two sets, astral and physical, 7 chakras, but then all the little chakras, all the acupuncture chakras everywhere, and then the bigger sized minor chakras in your shoulders and your arms and your legs. You have a big one, a cool one right here, 4.5 I call it, and the Kundalini chakra beneath your first chakra. So anyway, represent all those with your composite copy and just repair them. With lots of gold light from your hands. And sticky gold wax to just get rid of energy blocks around and inside the composite copy. Just get the wax there and have the wax stick to everything that's not you, and get rid of the wax. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. More sticky gold wax in there, inside and around. And just lift the wax and the junk out and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And so now the repair should be even more successful. And I guess let's do some theme related unblocking. So lift out any energy blocks. You can use wax or not, but just lift out energy blocks in the way of you engaging more with your physical body and with nature. Just lift out those blocks. Give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. Again, energy blocks in the way of you engaging more with nature and doing more with your physical body, being more present, enjoying your physical body more. Lift out those blocks. Give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. And the little part that I liked from Friday's healing, body acceptance and motivation. So any energy blocks in the way of you fully accepting your body and not, like being mad about certain aspects of it, or sad or frustrated or whatever. So any body baggage in the way of your body acceptance, and anything in the way of your body related motivation. So lift all that out in the way of acceptance and motivation. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. All right, good. So you can blow that up. Give it to your angels if you don't like blowing things up. All right. Ah, UGP. Let's do that, shall we? So unmatched global pain, it's a good thing to do because people can get pretty stuck and you don't want to match all that. So what you do, it's basically you're just clearing your blocks, but you're clearing the blocks that are too similar to everybody else's blocks. And so it kind of puts you on this like group pain vibe, which is not a great thing. Can really complicate your life. So just pile out in front of you any energy blocks you have that are at all similar to the masses of group pain out there, and just get all your energy blocks out in front of you so you can clear them. Anything that connects you to the pain of the entire world, because it's just going to crush you. It doesn't mean that you're fixing the world by matching everybody's pain. It just sucks. So get all those energy blocks out in front of you. Say, angels, can you double check these? Make sure it's not too much for me to clear. And then just go ahead and use a lot of gold light. You can bring up red earth energy and soak the energy blocks. Gold light, melt away the cords going into them. If you're healing yourself, you can blow them all up too. And again, these are just your energy blocks. You're not touching everybody else's. Don't touch. Just your own. And just melt them away. Reground. Big red or orange or yellow grounding. Unblock your grounding real quick, Lee. And let's do one more round of UGP. So just dump out in front of you any energy blocks you have that they're super similar to everybody else on the planet. And just dump all those energy blocks out in front of you and say, angels, can you double check these blocks? And then go ahead and melt them away. You can bring up red earth energy, gold light to melt away the cords to other people. And just melt away this pile. You can blow it up if you're healing yourself. If you have any left over, just say, angels, help me clear that. Okay, so that was 2 rounds of UGP. Unmatched global pain. All right. All right. So spiritual abilities are a big deal. And I, as a healer, especially like to help people with their own abilities, so people can be better at self-healing or healing other people. People can be better at reading themselves and or reading other people. Well, not or, and reading other people. I never want to encourage people to just be like, oh, I can only read other people. I can't read myself. Because you could get into a lot of trouble in life that way. So I think it's important to be at least as good reading yourself as you are as other people. I mean, it'll be a little bit easier to read other people probably than yourself, but don't use that as a crutch and then be like, well, but I can't really read myself, because it's just, you can unblock enough to do it. And so you're just stopping right before the glorious finish line then. Don't sell yourself short. So anyway, because that's what I teach, pro-level reading and healing skills and techniques. And so you can be a pro-level reader healer whether or not you're pro, like professionally really doing it. I mean, some of my clients do become pro reader healers, and that's awesome. But others maybe just want to luxuriate in giving themselves the best in healing and reading every day, which, how wonderful is that? One client, she said it's like having a superpower. It totally is like having a superpower. She said that in her survey. It is. It's complete. It's like this weird, insane, unfair advantage in life. Life isn't fair anyway. But it's amazing to be able, to be able to do this stuff for yourself. So on that note, let's increase your abilities. Your ability to read more in depth, heal, intuit more accurately, hear your angels better, all that good stuff, right? So one way I was noticing that you can be blocked is, like in past lives, you may have used your abilities to read, to heal, that kind of thing. But you may have used it in a way that now gets you into a bit of trouble. Like I only work with angels, right? And that's for a reason, because I don't want to get myself into trouble. But in past lives, I was not always so careful. And so you may have had past lives like that as well, where you maybe you were one of the priestesses to the goddess of, fire or whatever in that culture, or, you were a healer to the god of, the harvest in one culture. And that is an actual being, that has, and maybe that being had other beings working with them. And so you still have a spiritual agreement with, the god of harvest of some, old culture that you were a part of, and their helper beings, like maybe this council of like 50 beings, plus the harvest being, And at the time, it seemed like a good idea, but now those beings could really be getting in the way of you being a more and more accurate reader, healer, and intuitive, and hearing your own angels. Just because they'll be like, you promised, we have an agreement. And so they kind of like get in your space a lot when you're trying to read, and you might not realize that. You might just be like, well, I just can't read much detail, but it's because you have, this harvest god in your space when you're trying to read. So it's totally workable. Don't worry, it sounds more complicated than to explain it than it is to deal with it. Because, like, say the harvest being, he might be pretty harmless, once you clear the agreement with him, he'll go away, but there could be some beings that you had associated with that, once you clear the agreement, they won't go away, in which case you ask your angels to recycle them. So that's why it's so simple. You clear the agreement with everybody, and then some go away permanently, and that's beautiful, and some don't, in which case you ask your angels to recycle them. Recycling is a friendly word for destroying. Your angels destroy these beings that are so moochy that they're never going to stop mooching from somebody. You get rid of them, they're going to mooch on somebody else, or they're going to keep trying to mooch on you, But angels decide that. When you recycle something, you just ask the angels to sort that out and see what's in everybody's best interest, So you're not being all like egotistical and deciding yourself. You're just saying, okay, angels, can you recycle that? And then, probably the angels will, the angels will definitely get rid of it for you, but they'll probably literally destroy it. But recycling sounds friendlier. Okay. So what the heck do I call this? That's the weird thing. I can explain stuff easily, but then to develop a little catch term for it. Well, it's definitely to increase abilities. So we'll say increase abilities by clearing past life agreements. We'll say clearing agreements. Because you maybe got into some messy spiritual agreements in this life. Maybe you had some teacher at some point who maybe even they wanted to be spiritually clean, but subconsciously they just had too many power issues. And so technically there was a lot of like fine print that wasn't clean in your agreement with that person. Which, people have imbalances. So it's good to, there's always you can always clean stuff up yourself. You know, even if the person you had an agreement with wasn't, you know, Buddha, you know, you can make it clean. You know, like with me, I'm not Buddha, you know, so there could be at some point I had some subconscious fears or something. So there was something like not super clean in your agreement with me. So we can clear that up now too. Because you don't want anything unclean messing with your use of your abilities to, you know, I mean, you're doing good karma things with your abilities, presumably. So, you know, you don't, it just should be you and your angels working that out. No messy entanglements with anybody else, limiting you. Okay, cool. So we're increasing abilities by clearing agreements, clearing messy agreements, clearing agreements that are in the way, right? So what's the easiest way to do that? Let me just line them up. You know, just imagine copies of all the beings that you have even like a little agreement with. You know, maybe some people too, like old teachers and stuff. You know, you still have like a little bit of a leftover agreement with that person. And, you know, they could have moved on, but an agreement just stays until, you know, the agreement's cleared. So until either you or that person clears it. So just imagine this long line of beings, you know, maybe the harvest god and, you know, all that other stuff. And then, you know, human being, you know, maybe former teachers or whatever, you know, and our parents or whatever, maybe you had spiritual agreements with them that are in the way. So you have, not necessarily invasive beings. I mean, it's just you had this sort of restrictive agreement. So a bunch of beings and then a bunch of people, right? And then just imagine all those agreements that are limiting your spiritual abilities that are with these people. And just melt away the agreements with gold light. And just say, angels, help me do this. So that the angels, your angels, you know, can assist. And you can imagine the agreements however you want, like rocks or pieces of paper or whatever, and just use gold light and melt them. Okay, so then you see like who departs. You know, you could just say bye, thank you. Bye, thank you, talk to you later. You know, and see who departs and who is like, no, we still have something. You know, I still need to regulate you. And see, you know, working with these people that, you know, are the 120 people, like maybe about 80% are dispersing, but then there's 20% that are still there. Couple of the people are confused, so I'm just running gold light through them so they're not so confused. And I'm saying, go ask your angels. So they're all leaving to talk to their angels. And then the you know, the harvest gods and whatever that aren't leaving. The rando gods and little whatever spirits. Angels, can you deal with all these spirits? Recycle them as needed. Yeah. Another thing too with abilities, a way that you could be limiting yourself with an ability is just maybe you're just making things too complicated. Like you're expecting like this great movie's gonna, you know, you're gonna see it as a great movie, but sometimes you need to make it simple for yourself. Like, okay, you know, when I'm like, say if you can't study, right? And you can't, like you sit down to study, but then your mind is like in a million places at once and you can't focus, right? So just imagine yourself sitting down to study and what happens to your body and your spirit, you know, and just look at it. And so it's like studying you, and just imagine studying you and just like healed at that part of you and see. So, you know, you can imagine now, reader healer you, right? That you, when you're trying to read and heal yourself, right? And what do you look like? Do you pop out? Do you have like a whole bunch of black walls in front of you that trigger and are right there? So read or heal are you when you're trying to read and heal yourself, if that's probably what you're trying to enhance first. Um, just look at all the walls and hardness that appear and trigger you and just melt those. Because the more present you are and flowing you are, the better your abilities are going to work, the more easily it is to use your abilities. So you're looking at a mini you trying to read and heal yourself, and what triggers? Does your grounding block up? So just go ahead and unblock that. Melt away the blocks in your grounding that appear when you try to read and heal yourself. And melt away the blocks in the front that happen when you try to read and heal yourself. And maybe imagine, like 7 chakras, physical body, 7 chakras, astral body, and then the filaments in between them. And just unblock those. So they're like nice tubes with a nice flowing river in them. No blocks. And just heal them up. Heal those filaments so that the energy can flow nicely. And specifically be aware of any blocks that happen when you're trying to use your abilities. Any blocks to these filaments. And just repair the filaments and melt those blocks, so that you have good flow and presence when you're trying to use your abilities to heal and read yourself. Okay, so that was increasing your abilities, and first we did it by clearing agreements, and then we did it by healing a mini you. Healing the healer reader mini you. So we did it 2 ways. Yay, good for you. Oh, one thing. Yeah, I could go on and on, but I won't. Okay, good. Focus, focus, focus. All right, 7th chakra. I mentioned in the intro, if your 7th chakra of your astral body and your physical body are set at the vibration of the kind of life you want to live, then it helps, sort of trickle down an energy shift so that you manifest it more. You're more likely to manifest it. You can't only do your 7th. Eventually, that's why being in all your chakras is really, really useful, because then you have a good flow everywhere, and so you can kind of set all of them to the kind of life you want to have. But start with your 7th. One thing at a time, and then it can kind of adjust over time. So just imagine your astral body chakra and your physical body 7th chakra. So there's the 7th chakra, it is like an open cylinder, but it's oriented this way as opposed to 6 by 4 3 2 1 with the round opening in the front and the back. The 7th, the round opening is at the top and at the bottom of it in there. So it's kind of like in there. So anyway, imagine your astral body 7th and your physical body 7th. You can imagine them separately at first and just get an intuitive sense of, okay, well, what's the kind of life you want? And hopefully it's not just a financial thing that you thought of. Like, hopefully you're not just thinking, oh, I want to earn $100,000 a year or whatever it is. Hopefully it's like you can, get yourself a deeper sense. I mean, it could include that, certainly. But, maybe also including, peace of mind and serenity and, a sense of like gratitude to be alive every day and, like the deeper stuff as well. So maybe have a full sense of the kind of life that you would like. And then as you heal, maybe you can sense that your astral body seventh is closer to that type of life that you want than your physical seventh, or maybe they're both there, or maybe neither of them are vibrating at that right vibration. So just purple is a good color for your seventh, but you can unblock it enough so that you kind of feel like, yep, it's right where it needs to be. So I feel like people's astral sevenths are closer to it than the physical seventh. So now I'm just going to do the physical seventh only, just to give that an extra little help. Just lots of gold light. Maybe repair the surfaces. They should be like ripply purple water surfaces, but they could have like hard black damage. So just wash that off with gold light. All right. And then that filament between astral and physical seventh, make that like a nice, purple tube with a purple flowing river in it. And it is valid to be like, well, consciously, I don't know the kind of life I want. I don't really have a sense of that. That's okay. You can still work this by saying, like, I like to look at it like maybe like the direction of a ship, maybe, or like a direction and a compass, and just be like, okay, well, this is the direction of like the way it would be best for me if my life was going in this direction, right? And so then my seventh chakra is set in this direction, so then I need to heal it so that it changes direction, so that like if it were a ship traveling, it would be going in this ideal direction, for my life, for me, for my highest good, that kind of a thing. So you don't have to know, the big and little details consciously. It's just, okay, this is the direction for my highest good, and is my seventh chakra matching that, yes or no? And then just heal it to the point where it is matching that. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's seventh chakra healing, astral and physical, and we did the filament. So it's we'll call it, so it's matched to your ideal life, but not ideal like a real shallow thing, like I want everyone to be impressed by me, more like highest good ideal life, All right, great job. So I'm going to look at a sample person for a minute. So I'll be quiet as I'm doing that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is deep thought healing technique for body acceptance and motivation. Because the angel showed me a sample person who is this client's mom, and body acceptance is so not on her radar. Like, it wasn't how she was raised. It's just not part of her mindset. Like, for her, her body is almost like a car to get her from point A to point B. It's not, she sort of takes for granted like a level of nervousness and avoidance around her body and a level of discomfort around her body. So I think deep thought will be very workable in that sort of more extreme case where, you know, even the concept of body acceptance is like, what? You know? So deep thought, you're dealing with subconscious mind and conscious mind, and you just make it look better and flow better, and you know, it's easy. Okay, so let's do it. That was explaining. This is the doing. Okay, so you imagine, I don't have a nice drawing of it right now. So you just imagine rectangles out in front of you that represent copies of your subconscious mind, and then a rectangle above that and touching it for your conscious mind, and then a rectangle above that and touching it for your 8th chakra, which is, you know, part of your higher self. It's a part of you that is it's a chakra, your 8th chakra that you have. It's gold. It looks like a gold sun that just shines down wisdom and healing energy on you. It doesn't like come into your aura and get down into the nitty gritty of your life. It just stays above your aura, at least like, well, at least a foot above your aura, but 3 feet above your aura, 4 feet above your aura. Even it can go higher up and lower, depending on how like fascinating what you're doing is to you. Your 8th chakra might come in closer to the top of your aura. But it's good to always be, you know, open to that wisdom and that sort of big picture knowledge from past lives that comes in through your 8th chakra. It shines down. Helps you to just have a more sort of big picture, mellow wisdom about things. So anyway, if you don't like the rectangle shapes, you can make them whatever shape you want. But the point is, subconscious mind, conscious mind, 8th chakra, that they touch and they have blending surfaces so they can influence each other, because you want that 8th chakra wisdom to influence your conscious and your subconscious mind. And there's a lot of stuff that you know in your subconscious mind that would be better for you to know consciously. Not everything, but a bunch. And so if you don't have energy blocks in between, then you can have a healthy level of flow in between all these sections. So just use gold light and melt away, like if you sense any sort of crunchiness, any hardness, especially in the blending surfaces in between the sections, you know, conscious mind and subconscious mind, and then conscious mind and 8th chakra. And we can do like a collapsing gold net. And so a big collapsing gold net, big gold nets, like a big cube of gold netting, and then just collapse it in to get rid of energy blocks and invasive beings and people that you want to get rid of out of all these spaces, and give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. Okay, one more time. Collapsing gold nets through the whole thing and get rid of all that junk. Angels, here you go. And we could do a blue soak. Blue soak for the deep thought. So just bring up blue earth energy and soak just these areas. So you're not soaking like your whole, all your chakras and everything in blue, because that would be too fast moving for the lower chakras. Be a little too triggering. But just for your subconscious mind, your conscious mind, and your 8th chakra, that's cool. So just bring up the blue earth energy and soak it all in blue earth energy. And you could bring it down again. You could bring it back up again. It's up to you. You can leave the blue soak for your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Your 8th chakra doesn't really need it. Wouldn't hurt it, but to leave it up all the time in your 8th chakra, that'd be probably odd. So, but you could leave a blue soak going with your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. That could be nice. Blue's a nice color for your mind. It relates to your throat chakra, which that's a nice color for your throat chakra. So we were just clearing and healing in general, and we probably had a lot of body and nature baggage already triggered that we've been clearing, just because that's what we've been talking about, so it triggers it. But we can explicitly imagine any baggage in the way in your conscious or your subconscious mind, or these blending surfaces, anything in the way of your body acceptance and your body motivation. So meaning, could be exercise motivation, diet change motivation, motivation to, go take a walk or stretch or garden or something with nature or something physical. So just melt away any energy blocks in the way of your body motivation and body acceptance. Wow. You could do another blue soak again. Bring it up and down. And I'll probably leave it up. Blue soak. Blue soak, blue earth energy. All right, so you could blow that up if you want, give it to your angels, whatever. So that was Deep Thought Technique for body acceptance and motivation, and just general awesomeness. La, la, la. Let's do some unblocking, or unblocking at the top and bottom. Especially 3, 2, 1, but all of it. But I'm noticing it gets more dense with the inner layers. So just so we're unblocking up here and down here. Especially 3, 2, 1, and we could just do 3, 2, 1 all over. Aura layers 3, 2, 1 of your regular auras. And I mean, you could do the inner part of your Wei Qi auras at the same time. It's just they don't have layers. All right, good job. So let's do it the way we did last time. I think that worked fine. It's just good to keep doing it. Clear what you're avoiding. And like last time, we'll do it as boxes. But if you imagine what you're avoiding, like in dumpsters instead of boxes, or in piles, or in bags, or, or just as bricks, that's fine too. Whatever metaphor you like, visual metaphor you like. So just imagine out in front of you whatever you're avoiding that also makes you avoid nature and your body. And just bring up red earth energy, soak it all, say, angels, is this okay? Can you check all this? And then go ahead and melt it away. Gold light, gold fire. Okay, let's do another round of that. Maybe we'll do flower healing and then we'll do another round of it. So we already did one round of clearing what you're avoiding. So now let's make energy healing flowers. Just whatever energy healing energy that you need out of universal healing energy, but you can make it look like flowers, a rainbow or gold. Say, angels, can you check my flowers? And give them to yourself. Just whatever healing energy you need right now. Just make a whole bunch more flowers. Say, angels, can you double check them for me? And then give them to yourself. So that was energy healing flowers. So then again, let's just make a big pile out in front of you. You can imagine it like big boxes or dumpsters or piles or whatever you want. But what are you avoiding? What baggage? It could be your baggage, it could be other people's baggage that's in your space. But just whatever you're avoiding that also has you maybe indirectly avoiding nature and avoiding your body. And you can blow it up. You can bring up red earth energy and then gold light and melt it. But just melt away what you're avoiding. That way it doesn't have to keep making you avoidant or procrastinate or whatever. Just melt it away. If you have any left over, just say, angels, help me with that. Good job, guys. Inner wounds. Let's heal inner wounds. Sometimes the reason that you're not doing something pleasurable is because it might remind you of all the times that you would have wanted to do it, but you didn't do it. It's like this weird irony, so it just makes you sad. Like, personal example, I got all this seed starting stuff to grow seeds, like vegetable seeds, flower seeds, all this stuff. Very exciting. And I ordered it and I didn't unpack the box for like a month. And I didn't really need to use it yet. I just had to order it before it all sold out. So that, it wasn't really a problem, but it was a little odd that I didn't unpack it because it's cool stuff and it's fun to even just look at it. See it there, all it's like exciting. But so as I was finally unpacking it, I realized why I hadn't unpacked it is because I really would have wanted all that stuff when I was a kid. I mean, maybe not as deluxe as it is, but I would have wanted like just some little seed starting little area, and that would have really thrilled me as a kid. But it just wasn't that kind of a household that I grew up in where like, they try to tune into what really interests your kid. It's more like, well, your kids need to do well in the world, so make them do this and this and this, It was more of that, top down kind of stuff. It wasn't, find what your child thinks is magical and wonderful about life and help them to do that, so whatever, 50 years later, here I am doing it, which is fine. Better late than never, right? But I had sadness about that was not what happened in my childhood, and so that caused me to procrastinate something that was really positive. And I can see that in some of my clients that, they don't spend enough outdoor time as maybe they would like, and it's like they're kind of sad that they had too much baggage and too much stress before to do it, and so it just makes them sad, like all the springs that they missed, all the falls that they missed, all the walks that they could have gone on that they didn't, like there's this regret or this sense of like self-judgment or sadness or blah blah blah, right? So let's clear that stuff. Right? Because you don't need that. Enough's enough. The past is the past. You did your best and it's over. So we can heal and be strong and move on. So, but you can't just like say, move on, you got to heal the wounds and clear the baggage, and then it's easier to move on. So just imagine, so that was a big explanation. Well, 3 minutes, wasn't that long. For me, that's really short. So just imagine inner wounds that are in the way of you engaging more with your body and engaging more with nature. Any inner wounds, and it could be, related to that kind of thing that I talked about or some other reason. Some inner wounds that are in the way of you engaging more with your body and nature, and just melt the inner wounds. Lots of cold light. Just melt these wounds. You can imagine the wounds like slashes, and just make them disappear with the gold light. Oh. Okay, another batch. Just imagine. No, let's rotate. Okay, so we did inner wounds. So then now let's do. We already did the baggage with the clear avoiding, so let's just do flower healing. So just nourish yourself. So like, good job for clearing those inner wounds. All right. So whatever energy healing you need so that you're more able to engage with your body and with nature, just give yourself lots of healing flowers. Say, angels, can you double check these flowers? And then give them to yourself. More energy healing flowers for yourself, whatever healing energy you need to be more able to engage with nature in your body. Say, angels, can you double check my flowers? Give them to yourself. Right? Okay, and one more round of inner wound healing. So whatever inner wounds are in the way, they could be from past lives, you don't have to know what they are, right? So just a bunch of slashes out in front of you representing any inner wounds that are good to heal right now, and they're in the way of you engaging more with your body and with nature. And just melt the inner wounds. If you have any left over, just say, angels, help me heal these. All right. Let's do steps. Again. I think we did steps already. Oh, yeah, we did steps already, but I want to do it again. And we're close to finishing up, I think, for this healing. So just put out in front of you all your stubborn triggered energy blocks. So they would be energy blocks in the front here that are just kind of still stuck. I mean, they didn't clear even though we did so much work today. So they're probably here. They might be right up here. So just put all those stubborn triggered energy blocks that still aren't clearing out in front of you, and bring up the red earth energy. Soak them all in red earth energy. And you can say, angels, can you double check all these? And then melt away the cords going into them all. And then melt them all away. or blow them up if you're healing yourself. That's fine too. Ooh, one more batch of those. So just make copies out in front of you, all your steps, stubborn, sugared energy blocks, put them all out in front of you, and bring up red earth energy, gold light, melt away all the cords, and melt away those energy blocks or blow them up. If you have any left over, say, angels, help me clear those. Oh, right. I think let's just do a quick comb through. Chakras, just help them to all work together. The chakras along your spine. Quick little calming down, maybe of the top creative ring. You have 3 gold creative rings above your head. Just chill those out a little bit. Lots of gold light. Maybe a gold sandstorm. Just repair and unblock those creative rings above your head. We did a lot of that 2 days ago. There's also a 14-minute video that just does creative rings that I'll link below later. And just help all your major chakras along your spine to relax and work together. Wash everybody out of your space. You can say, if anybody's in your space, as you wash them out, say, hey, go talk to your angels. Go ask your angels for help. They can help you today. Ask your angels for help. Just say, angels, please help me today. Okay, and then redo your buffer zones. And you can say, as we wrap up, just say, angels, please give me a healing. All right, good job. We did it. Woo, woo, woo. We are done. So I will, I'll probably go for like 20 minutes-ish, just to look at live viewer feedback. If you want to comment on what this healing was like for you, if you have a favorite part of it you want to mention, or just how you're feeling, and you can give context, please, in case it's not obvious from your name who you are, just if I healed you or you just healed yourself or both. If you have a follow-up question about body stuff, physical body stuff, nature stuff, the theme, that you could post those. I'll get to them assuming there's enough time. Okay. So let's see, I'm catching up on my comments. So it says, hi Janet, just arrived, glad to be here, thank you for this healing, you're very welcome. Someone says, it's not quick if I keep talking, is it? Yeah, I'm a big talker. I do work on it, but you wouldn't know it. Someone says, hi from Ottawa, Canada, hello. So it says, thank you for articulating this message. Well, you're welcome. That helps. Someone says, hi, Janet. Did I have an agreement with a harvest being? Maybe that's what's been hindering my abilities. Yeah, a lot of people did. I mean, because if you've done, it's so easy to do spirituality in a way that gets you in trouble in a future life, like with those agreements with beings that are not angels. So yeah, a lot of people have done that kind of thing. So yeah, I would say that's part of, you could actually keep working that a couple more times, maybe 2 more times. Like sleep and, rest and be well for a little, and then in a couple of days do it again, and then sleep and rest and be well, and in a couple of days later do it again. So make sure you get it all. Uh, Someone says, I am having a panic all morning today, just tuned in. Yeah, you have a lot of aura damage. Someone got you really good. And so you have aura damage like all in the front of your auras, and you have chakra damage to, I did not heal you, just for other people's context, because otherwise that would be repaired by now. But you're not one of the 120 people that I'm healing. So yeah, aura repair, chakra repair. We did both of those today, but you could, the healing from 2 days ago is already time stamped, in the comment section. So that would be probably easiest for you. Just go to that, go to 2 days ago, and that healing, it's healing one of the same theme, and just do aura repair a lot, and then chakra repair for sure, because your chakras are like kind of shattered. So it makes sense that you feel completely screwed. You kind of are, but it's very fixable. Don't worry. It's just get to work. Aura repair, chakra repair. If you have absolutely no time to do any of that right now, you could say, angels, really, really, please help me. And then just be like, okay, I'm going to let my angels heal my chakras and my auras. Because sometimes the stress gets in the way and you don't really let your angels help you properly. So you got to focus on, I'm letting my angels help me heal my chakras and my auras. Okay, someone says, hey, Janet, hey. Someone says, great healing, thank you. Hoping you can give me some tips on working with, you give the person's name. He is still in the hospital since his surgery, setbacks, and discouraging delays. Well, I'm wondering if you have gotten this sort of a message from your angels, if you noticed it but you didn't believe it or something. But when I look at the angels and what they're telling you, they're actually kind of putting their hands like this, and they're like, take a step back, just give him space. He's making some decisions right now, so because I think a lot of times healers, they sort of want everybody to get better, and live forever, and have full physical functioning and all that stuff, and the person that you're thinking of healing has free will, and there could be times in their lives where they just need to be with their angels and figure stuff out. And so spiritual healing by humans at that time might actually be a bit of a distraction. And it sounds like that's now. so he's definitely working with his angels for sure. But it's just one of these times where it's not a time for healers, it's a time for him and his angels. You could maybe heal some of his loved ones so that he gets more breathing room, because regular people that aren't healers probably get even more intense about that kind of thing, and they want the person to live forever, and they definitely consider it like a losing of a battle if the person ever passes away. So those people can really be kind of in his space at a time like this, when he's just wanting to like pause and have deeper conversations with his angels about the meaning of life and what he wants to do and all that. So healing his loved ones, that could probably be a more productive avenue right now. One at a time. So it's not a group healing, so it doesn't get you a lot of punishment. But you could imagine one at a time. Or maybe do flower healing for his loved ones. That could be nice, because that you can do for like all his loved ones at once, but it doesn't get you in trouble. It doesn't get you on any group healer lists. So that could be nice. But I think, as a healer, you end up seeing a lot, if you're a healer for any period of time. And so, it could be a good time for you and the other healers to work on wounds and baggage about letting go. and what comes up for that, you know, because I think with healers and readers, it's like all about helping the other person. But what if they transition? You know, what if, you know, or what if they just choose a path where they have less levels of abilities in the lifetime? You know, it's, you could have grief as a healer, like a sense of failure, you know, you didn't do enough or you couldn't do enough, or, you know, oh, this is terrible, you know, and so there could be a lot of built up like that from past lives and from this life. So that's what I'm hearing, that you and your fellow healers can just work, like be a little more inward right now, and work on healing feelings of loss, feelings of grief, feelings of being a failure if, you know, if things don't go a certain way. And that's not a prediction, that's just a way that the angels say that you guys could be productive right now, when it's a time when the angels are asking you to back off and not heal him very much right now. I mean, a little bit, but they're like, yeah, tune it down. Don't get in the way. So heal yourselves as healers, and heal the wounds and the baggage related to, you know, people you care about passing, or people you care about having physical challenges, or, you know, whatever. There's a lot that can pile up with that, and if you don't work on it, it just triggers every time and makes it hard, too hard. So I hope that makes sense. Possibly not the answer you were looking for, but you know, that's the way it goes. Yes, you say we still work on him daily with your techniques. Yeah. Yeah. So the angels aren't saying don't do any, but they're like, maybe do like 20% of what you have been doing directly on him, and just focus on yourself and flower healing for his loved ones and his caretakers, like in the hospital. You know, you can do flower healing for the people in the hospital, but only flower healing. You know, for a group like that, that'd be a thing. Anyway, okay, so hope that helps. Someone says, hi, Janet. It's been a while. I forgot to send my survey, but lately I'm doing really well. Oh, good. How have I been doing the past week on being present? Very well. You've been in all your chakras, not every day, but more days than you've been in 7 through 2. You've been more often in 7 through 1, all chakras. I've been feeling great and even started dancing again. Oh, good for you. Yeah. Yeah, you've been very present. So woo-hoo. And I'm glad that you actually feel good too. That's important, of course. Someone says, I feel really mellow, but pretty sleepy. I was a participant. Yeah, you're bringing in a lot of new energy. Maybe just unblock up here, you know, because if you're bringing in a lot of new energy and you have some blocks, you know, it can kind of feel a little weird, like, woo, like you got a big hat on or something, you know? So just unblock your creative rings and unblock your top of your aura just a little bit extra. Especially like 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So I don't think it's your angels trying to force you into a nap. I just think you're a little top heavy with the energy blocks and then all the new energy coming in. Someone says, hi, Janet. I was healing myself off and on. I can't wait to redo it properly. The theme makes me feel warm and happy. Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, I think that's your angels, you know, being like, yes, this is what you need to do. This will help you. Yeah, so they're making you feel warm and happy about this theme. But yeah, good. Good. I'm glad. Someone says, thank you, Janet. My mom totally uses her body like a car. Yes, you were not the person I was talking about, but yes, I can see that. I think, yeah, women, it can be a woman thing, a generational thing as well. But, you know, yeah, great analogy. She definitely needs this healing. Good. Yeah. Yeah. It's neat. Someone says, I wonder if this healing and the last one really helped me let go, because I've been a lot happier and embracing myself positively lately. Yeah. One thing that's reminding me is we did that baggage about other people's baggage and the baggage about your baggage. Like that was I don't know which healing that was in, but uh it's probably in the title of one of the recent ones. But when we cleared out baggage about other people's baggage and then baggage about your baggage, yeah, it was earlier. It was a February triplet healing, the third triplet healing. We cleared baggage about baggage, and we had the one before that. We had cleared the baggage about other people's baggage. I think that could have also sort of been like a sort of a dam breaking for a lot of people. Um, because it's a thing where if you're a reader and a healer and you heal yourself, you work on expanding your abilities. Well, you're going to realize you have baggage for sure. And so you may as well just chill out about it. So clear your baggage about your baggage. So it's just like, yeah, okay, cool. I have some repressed anger. I can work on that. I have some, inner wounds. Okay, well, I'll just, heal some today and heal some tomorrow. you know. All right, cool. Energy healing and intuition is a great superpower. For sure, yeah. It's amazing. So it says, hey Janet, thank you for all that you do. I'm living in a noisy place, thinking of going to camp out for a while. I wonder why sudden noises trigger me so much. Maybe a past life or a childhood thing. Yeah, several past lives. Um, yeah, it tends to be, it's like a trauma trigger, for when um, like you can live in a household where you're abused physically, emotionally, etc. And there are signs right before it happens. That person starts throwing things, or that person starts raising their voice, and so it's about to happen. And so then it's 5 lives from then, now, and you're not in that situation, but you hear the loud noises, you're thinking, oh no, it's about to start. Something bad's about to happen. So it's a trauma trigger. So yeah, just what you do is you clear that. I mean, that's how I lived in Chicago happily for so many years, is just to clear the triggers, that get triggered with that situation, so just steps, stubborn triggered energy blocks, just imagine the energy blocks that get triggered by city living or by noisy, people being angry or whatever, and just melt it, keep melting that stuff. Um, Someone says, hi Janet, thank you for this. You healed me and I healed myself, and you healed my son. Curious about my son's disinterest in being in nature, thanks. I don't think I healed you this time, but I have a big list in front of me. But email me, we'll figure it out. But I think you're thinking of a different set. Um, because I don't think I've been emailing you. Did I email you like, uh, you know, Thursday night with the healing information? Did I email you Friday night with the survey? All that? Because unless your real name is different than that, then no, I don't think you did get this set. I think you're confusing it with something. Because sometimes, if you're new, you don't realize that when you buy something, it's for like 2 months ahead. Um, so, but I mean, just now I can imagine your son and read his disinterest in being in nature. Yeah, it's just he kind of pops out a little, and I mean, it looks like I kind of see him, doing something electronic, and he's just a little out of all his chakras. A common thing that people do that with is like they'll, like more mainstream adults, they'll work all day and get like less and less and less present all day, and then they'll just watch TV for like hours at night, and they're kind of like out, and they're just like zoned, and they're somewhat enjoying the TV stuff, and it's just like an out of body experience. So he's having an out of body experience with his, TV or electronics or whatever he's doing. He's just a little clicked out, not super far away out, but out, a little out. So it would be more a gentle transition with him to, for example, like say he really likes cashews or he really likes, peanuts or some kind of a nut or some kind of protein that he likes that's healthy and affordable for you, some kind of protein snack that's healthy and affordable for you. You can just kind of make that for him and put it next to him and be like, oh, in case you're hungry, because then that body engagement will bring him more present. So you're not forcing him to go outside. That's like 4 steps ahead. But the one step is like some healthy body engagement. So like maybe there's a kind of an herbal tea that he actually likes and it's healthy and it's affordable and you can make it for him. And so you just make a cup for yourself and you make a cup for him and put it next to him in case you want some. Don't make a big thing of it. And then that way, if he does, it's like it sort of helps him to process and clear whatever blocks that are causing him to tune out like that. So I hope that makes sense. But hopefully you realized about the healing timing. But if not, email me. We'll work it out. We'll clear up whatever confusion there is about you. But right now I don't think you're on my healing list. I don't think you and your son are in this healing. But we'll see because people have different names sometimes on YouTube. Okay. Hi, Janet. Thank you for healing me and my family. You're welcome. I did feel triggered again today during the healing today. I'm laughing because we talked about how that was your mother-in-law and your sister-in-law last time. This time it's not your mother-in-law. She's like waving at me and she's giving me a thumbs up. It wasn't her, but your sister-in-law. Still, yeah. Yeah, I think it's some past life baggage that she has about healers. She has some real trust issues with healers, which, you can understand why there's some wacky people out there doing healing. But yeah, she has some. Yeah, she means well. I just let her know that she can have her angels help her with that old trauma that she has, because she has old wounds and stresses and fears that get triggered when someone she cares about is getting a healing. Because in a past life she had some very negative experiences with a healer that was not a positive person. So, but she's getting her angels to work on that with her now. So. So, we'll see. But she means well, and she understands now that it's just old trauma, and she is letting her angels heal her for now. So we'll see. Hopefully that will keep continuing. But anyway, you say, I tuned in during the latter part of the session and felt a lot of the areas covered, which I needed most. Oh, good. Thank you very much. You're welcome. So it says, hi, Janet. Thank you for the healing. Yes, I still feel avoidant to prepare for my job interview meeting. Yeah, you mentioned that in your survey. And I feel physically tired when I think of doing it. Yeah, that is interesting. I know you had said your parents have become more supportive of you lately. Your dad is standing off to the side and actually not interfering, but your mom is like really in your space. And so I can understand it's to the point where you want to pass out because she means well. She's trying to, it reminds me of like a mom that drives their child to school in the morning or something. And so in her mind, she's trying to help you prepare for the test, and she wants to go really well for you. So she really means well, but you're having major boundary issues with your mom when you are even contemplating studying. Having kids can be really triggering. And when your kids do well, maybe not as triggering as when your kids have trouble. If your kids, have hesitation or confusion or, they maybe change their mind a lot, it can really trigger baggage that a parent has. And I think that's the case with your mom. Like if you were just some, runaway success story, like stereotypically, I don't think she'd be that triggered. She'd just sit around and brag about you, you know. But you start and stop things as you figure out what works for you. That's just what you've been doing, and that really triggers like old wounds and old baggage from her own past lives. So you can I just reminded her, since I know who your mom is, so it was easy for me. So she'll have her angels work on that with her, but you can keep checking with her to see that she's letting her angels help her with all that, because it is real stress and real pain and real wounds from past lives. It's not really about you, it just gets triggered because she cares about you and she sees you having trouble in a way that triggers a lot of her old stuff. So anyway, hope that helps. I think with you don't like that stopping and starting thing about yourself, even though like that's what you do. I mean, so I think you really have a problem with that. Like you want to, pass the test and do whatever career that relates to it, and have it be this long term thing. You don't want to like do it for 5 years and be done, or do it for 3 years and be done, or do it for 8 years and be done. And you're kind of like angry at yourself that you stop and start things. So I think if you can just give yourself like forgiveness roses and acceptance roses. I mean, stopping and starting and learning stuff through stopping and starting is not the colossal failure that the world, some mainstream people think it is. You can go through a whole bunch of jobs and a whole bunch of experiences and learn actually 10 times more that way. It's just not the success that, certain traditional people can brag about. It's like some people consider it a failure, but screw what some people think. That just happens to be how you've been learning, is through stopping and starting. Trying something and stopping, and trying this other thing and going, no, I don't want to do it anymore. And so I think there's a lot of, you're so nervous that this is going to be another stopping and starting thing. You're like, no. So just try to, clear the baggage, clear the shame, clear the embarrassment. If you want to do it for 5 years, then that's what you want. If you want to do it for 3 years, that's what you want. If you want to do it for 20 years, that's what you want. There's something wrong about it. So just clear the baggage. I don't think it's wounds. I think it's baggage. And I think too, half of it's your parents' baggage. The other half is your baggage, because you don't really like standing out for that. Like if you were standing out because you were like an Olympic gold medalist in, pole jumping, you wouldn't mind standing out for that. But standing out because you stop and start a lot of jobs, that you hate that. So I think just, sometimes the way you choose to learn in life just makes you stand out a little bit, but there's always stuff that judgy people can judge you for. Judgy people judge me for what I do, like big time. Judgy people will always find stuff to judge. Like say if you were the Olympic pole jumper, they'd be like, yeah, but why'd she say that to the reporters? That's terrible, So just clear baggage about, this test and this career, whatever. It's for your highest, best good. It doesn't matter what society thinks. It doesn't matter what society, judges you on. Just try to unburden about all that. So it's just a freaking test, because it's sort of become this, decision moment on whether your life is worthless or not, which is silly. It's just way too much drama. But if you just clear your baggage, clear your parents' drama out of your space about it. It's just a test. It's just a decent career idea. Why not? Your angels seem to say, go for it. So that's that. I should wrap up soon, so I'm gonna just do these other ones super quick. Not related to the healing, but I have a job interview this week. I was wondering if there's anything specific I should work on before the interview. I can post this under a video too. Um, no, I mean your angels just think you're ready. Yeah. I mean, just you can heal that. You imagine you in the interview, and then heal the energy blocks that would trigger when you're in that interview. Ahead of time. Proactively heal the energy blocks, heal the, whatever. So it says, hi Janet, just joined. Thank you for the family healing. Oh, you should listen definitely to this live stream because there was a thing about increasing abilities that relates to a lot that you've been mentioning in surveys and stuff. You say, I usually work on being proactive about my meditation, but how was I not able to see the energy attack that overloaded my physical body? Proactive? Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a future reader, so I don't foresee all possible attacks that would happen to my energy. So I don't know. I can't really help you with that if you're trying to be, all knowing. I'm not a good coach on that one. My thing is just to learn how to heal it real fast. Not that you should see everything in advance. So yeah, I don't really have much comment on that. But you could wait till the timestamps show up. But the one about increasing abilities, I think you're gonna like that. It was after Unmatched Global Pain. After Oral Repair, Good Karma Windows, STEBS, UGP, Chakra Repair, UGP, and then it was increasing abilities. But anyway, there'll be timestamp links. So it says, right, I contract right up like a trauma. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, about the loud noises and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, just clear your triggers. About it. STEBS. Clear your STEBS. So this says, thank you for the healing. I got sick last night, either flu or Omicron. Any advice on engaging with your physical body when you're sick? GVCV repair. Yeah, definitely GVCV repair. Basic chakra unblocking and filament unblocking. So the 7 major chakras are physical and astral, and the filaments in between them, and just unblock, heal, repair, unblock, and just the auras and your GVCV. Yeah, and your grounding, of course. But yeah, you can do it. You've developed a lot of skill over time. So it says, thank you, really helpful. Oh, good. So it says, thanks, Janet. I do feel ready about the interview. Good for you. All right, so you guys are awesome. I'll do a little animal cam now as we end this live stream. There is another live stream in 2 days on Tuesday. Same theme, but some fabulous variation on it that we didn't already do. So animal cam, we have 1 out of 3 cats is visible right there. That's Smokey on the top of the cat tree right there. I think, no, that's Zen. Jennifer, Zen. There we go. I love her so much. Okay, and then Abel is right here. He's wearing his cone over his head because otherwise he itches himself way too much right now. Poor baby boy. I think maybe he's allergic to something just in the air because we've controlled his food, everything. But anyway. Alrighty, and now I'm going to let out my other 2 beagles, Izzy and Daisy. There we go. All right. So I'll give you a little close up on them. There's Daisy. There's Izzy is not accommodating the cat. There we go. Oh my goodness. Alrighty. So bye everybody. You're awesome. Have a good day or evening.